Back in DayZ, I guess the 1.07 update has dropped on consoles. It actually released on PC a little bit earlier, and it's a smaller update, that's for sure. It does add some interesting things, so we're going to kind of go over the details today. You can expect a review of this update in the near future, and I think a live stream too, because I want to check out the amusement parks, which are a brand new area in the game, but they seem to be very rarely found. I think there's like 3 of them on the map that I saw, because I was using the I Survive to kind of like plot that out. And if you're wondering about the state of my character, I guess I grew a hole in my body between the update or something, because I was bleeding out when I logged in. So yeah, and my character is crazy because apparently I ate human steak at some point. Don't remember that, but I'm sure it's in video somewhere. Or I was fed it in order to keep alive. Packed tomato seeds. Cool. So let's get with it. So with this update, we get a number of changes and fixes to the game. So that's kind of cool. Added the repeater carbine. We've also got .357 rounds. They added 12 GA rubber slugs. Kind of a weird selection of things. Again, a lot smaller, and obviously amusement park locations throughout Chernarus. And I wasn't really able to find too many of them on the map. I see one near Topolineki and Cervigino, and then I think there was another one near Starry Sober. Yeah, those are the only ones I seem to be able to notice on the map. The icons for them are like a black little object, and it just like blends right into the map. So it's kind of hard to tell, but that's the gist of what I've seen thus far for the amusement park locations, and I'm kind of eager to see them. It's also worth noting you cannot find them in Livonia. It is only available in the core map. So if you're looking for amusement parks, this is the only place you're going to find them, and I only noticed 3 on the map, and I kept like clicking on and off just like, see where it is, but that's the gist of it. And apparently they're actually kind of expansive amusement parks. They look to be like large in scale, having lots of like old crashed out rides. I doubt you'll be able to actually like play on this stuff, but I think it's just more there for aesthetics and something different to look at. Honestly, it's a little bit weird and not something I would have predicted. I don't remember DayZ having that like in the past. So like I mean like in the old mod days. So I'm not exactly sure if those were an old thing or if they're a new thing or where the idea for amusement parks came from. So they fixed a client error caused by recountering the weapon you dropped during a previous death. The map always used to open at the top left, now remembers the last position opened. They disabled the jump out action for backseat passengers of the ADA 4x4. Action circle was missing from dismantling the oven. The player can no longer attach both the suppressor and compensator to the SGK5. We're just going to kind of like a nice window thing. I think it's nighttime. It's kind of hard to tell because it's like, my screen is so kind of grayed out. It's kind of weird and haunting looking. At least I think so. So we're just going to get through this quickly. The player can no longer... Yeah, we did that. Issue caused by starting an action with a different item in your hands between client and server. An animation glitch related to throwing. Several types of inventory interactions related to item swapping. Water bonus from wells was added too early in the action. Infected would not cause bleeding as intended. Issue with doors in the aircraft hangar, hospital, school, and harbor crane. Issue with the sound of doors in the fire station and big ATC buildings. Issues with a ladder on the construction site. Again, these are all fixed things. Piles of wood planks could spawn on top of each other. The big doorway of the sawmill had bullet collision. Object placement fixes for a notch in Chernarus Plus terrains. A yellow heat comfort was giving a penalty on health regeneration. Position of the combination lock widget. LODs and textures. Why does it keep shaking? It's scary. The player could collide with individual IV parts. The denim skirt showed the wrong color in first person. Infected could not navigate into the large gray shed. I remember doing that glitch. That was funny. Yeah, they'd all run at the door and they just kind of stop. That was hilarious pathing. The construction light behaved weirdly when thrown. It was not possible to empty liquid containers in interior spaces. Blue athletic sunglasses had a green texture. The thermometer would display 0 degrees, always. Night vision was darkened when someone entered the building through the player's network bubble. Base building actions could be mixed up, resulting in building the wrong part. Barrel with holes was still able to store liquids. Missing icon for night vision goggles attachment slot. NVGs were not operable while holding an item in hand. Door of the radio station would spawn open halfway. Belts with attachments could be put inside clothing items. Cool, so that's, again, fixes. We're just going to move to another building, so we got a little bit more of, like, movement going on in the gameplay. And then we're going to go over the next bit, which is far shorter. We've got details on what's been changed, server adjustments. They do have a known issues. Picking up an item on the upper floor of a watchtower could crash the game. There's also a state of the game note. They're having some issues, I guess, with the PlayStation 4 version of the game having blue screens. And server crashes, and voice chat being triggered during inventory navigation, and FPS drops during gameplay. They haven't yet been able to find their cause. Somebody built a fence inside this building. Are they trying to build like a... They just built like a fence here? That's weird. It looks like they're trying to build a base within the house. That's kind of entertaining. Just want to get to that next good building here. And somebody built something in this house too. Kind of looked like there was a wood thing sticking out the back. No, maybe not. This guy thinks he's the Joker. Maybe it's the same kind of disease that affects the Joker. That could be a thing. Nice shot of the road. So going back, we got changes. Global lighting changes again. Ground lighting addition, brightness of day and night, shadow contrast during clear weather, rain visual tweaks, darker clouds during overcast. They updated the inventory attachment icons. Missing icons added. Some icons tweaked and unused removed to free space for more in the future. Clean up of the car damage zones. They lowered the amount of leaked coolant when the radiator is destroyed in the car. The open option for the fence gate can be accessed easier. Removed collision from the barbed wire. Barbed wire now causes bleeding sources instead of shock damage. The fence and watchtower kits can now be dismantled. Heavy items with collision are dropped using physics. Rework of the combination lock destruction requires more time, but in shorter cycles. Sawing a pile of wood planks is now truly a continuous action. Decreased range of the night light and changes color, position, and brightness for better immersion. The fence gate opens and closes slower. Inventory view of the assault helmet visor. You receive 1 additional plank when cutting down a wooden log. You receive 1 more wooden log when cutting down most trees. Base building materials are now placed more clear. Sorted the icons of firearms, and the base building action won't show up at all when it's being blocked, previously allowed to execute without result. Adjusted the logic behind the obstacle checks when base building parts. The map is now full screen. Remove the collision from the tourist trail poles. Oh, so you can like walk through them? The pickaxe can build watchtowers and fences again. That's exciting. Oh, where'd my food go? I mean, I've got like spaghetti in my hand. I'm dying of hunger. That's not a very good sign. Was the spaghetti not very filling for this guy, or like what? It's kind of weird. Then my food vanished so much. Look at this dark window. And just a few more added. Access to the server mission files are added to the server. Admin log parameters to selectively monitor certain player actions. Log player hits only. Log placement action. Log base building actions. Log periodic player lists with position every 5 minutes. And they added new server config parameters to customize night lighting. Light config. 0 for brighter night, 1 for darker night. Disable personal light. Disables personal light for all clients connected to the server. So, yeah, now you can kind of stock your people in your servers a little bit better, I guess. You kind of know where things are going on, where the placement is. So I guess that's a step in the right direction in regards to adding better server capability options, because that's always something I felt was kind of lacking in the game. Oh god. Bye, zombies. Oh, wow, I forgot. Yeah, that door. Yep. Okay, great. This is gonna work. Okay, now goodbye, zombies. Jeez. The zombies, the nerve of them today. Anyways, they're also aware of a client crash related to the inventory, so they're working on resolving that. But for the most part, that's all the details of today. I guess a happy Valentine's Day with a DayZ death update. I don't know, I kind of like the look of the black and white sometimes. It's kind of neat. Where are we in Nikta? Where are we at Nikta? Just want to see like the relation as to where we are close to another place. Nikta. Oh yeah, we are like in the middle of nowhere. I'd have to go so far. I'm gonna have to do like a whole, I think, a live stream event in order to actually get over towards the location of the amusement parks, because they are incredibly far away, you know, and it's probably going to take a stream in order to actually get to those points. But I think that's kind of about it right now. It was a kind of a, like, you know, a lot of things were tweaked and stuff, but it's considerably a smaller update when you look at other updates that have been added to the game in the past. And I'm sure there's going to be other issues and stuff too, so if you've come across any problems, let me know. Always interested in hearing about issues that people are having with this. But I think the idea of amusement parks is kind of fun, scattered throughout, and there's like 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, that's not scattered. But, yeah, and they haven't unlocked the mission folder for consoles yet, so I'm guessing mods not yet. Because they were kind of teasing the addition of mods. I think I went over that recently. But yeah, that's the gist of it today. Not a whole lot to cover. Kind of playing the same, but I don't really notice too much difference. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what kind of tweaks, you know, behind the scenes tweaks. They give you a list of things they do, and there's always some like hidden stuff in there as well that's kind of like, you know, affecting the gameplay. God, blood takes forever to regenerate. Seriously, this is ridiculous. I thought what would be really fun would be to do like a real life video comparing like the food items of DayZ and to see how filling they are. That was just a side idea, but yeah, definitely a review of the state of the game soon, because, you know, a new update, always do that, just kind of tradition at this point. And then probably a live stream event so I can go find the amusement parks. I wanted to do like a separate video for the amusement parks, but I thought they would be a little bit more present, you know, a little bit more sort of spaced out on the map. I wonder if I can change the visual style so I can see the amusement parks a little bit better. Nah, it does not help. There's the icon for them is like so tiny. It is unreal. And I don't see that they're like any of the coastal things. These are something you actually have to like, they're like a spot, like a landmark you have to go and actually visit in order to be able to use them. And hopefully my character doesn't spring any more leaks, because I swear last time when I left the game he was like A-okay, so it's kind of weird that he was gushing out some blood. Ha 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 ha, yes indeed. Kind of a nice starry night though. It looks cool with the black and white style. It's interesting.